Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes. This is where we look at an upcoming event in the stars and numbers, the astrology and numerology, to understand the dynamics of the frequencies that are being activated. And in this case, we are going to check out a very interesting phenomenon, and that is that there are 7 planets retrograde right now. And this is happening in a month that resonates to the number 7, September 2023, a year that resonates to the number 7, 2023, and a month that has 7 days that resonate to a 777. So the number 7 is very activated, and you'll see in a moment why this actually really ties in to the astrology. So let's look at the 7 planets first. We have Mercury in Virgo. We have Pluto currently at 28 degrees Capricorn, Saturn at 2 degrees Pisces, Neptune at 26 degrees Pisces, Chiron at 19 degrees Aries, Jupiter at 15 degrees Taurus, and Uranus at 23 degrees Taurus. Not retrograding, of course, are the Sun and Moon, which never station retrograde. They always move direct. And Venus and Mars, the divine feminine and sacred masculine, they're not in retrograde either. Now, I want you to notice in the astrology chart how Mercury is on its own in the sign of Virgo. It's across from the 6 other planets that are cradled together between Capricorn, where Pluto is, and Taurus, where Jupiter and Uranus are. And these are all earth signs. Virgo, where Mercury is, and Capricorn and Taurus. And that means that this cradle that's being created is an earth-based cradle. And earth definitely is about practical grounding, security, laying down roots, being connected, of course, to planet Earth and honoring planet Earth. And seeing the vibrational connection that we have as we are incarnated into human bodies with Mother Earth. So when we have this many planets in retrograde, right, it literally means we're going to the heart of the matter, because retrogrades take you within. So we're going into our heart for solutions and answers instead of researching externally so much, though that can be done, but we rely then on our intuition to interpret more than ever, because we're supposed to literally go and have self-awareness about whatever the question is, right? So the divine resource is your heart. And so sensory perception, which is very much part of the number 7 as well. 7 is the lightning strike. 7 is heaven coming to earth, which means carrying heaven in your heart, which means listening to the divine messages, which are your connection with source. That's all part of the number 7. So the retrograde times 7 is also about bringing that sensory perception into really overdrive, like where you just have no choice, and that means you get so acclimated to trusting your intuition that it becomes your go-to. And that's what this period of time is really doing. Remember, we're aligning with the 16-7 for September and the 7 for 2023 and these 7 planets. So very powerful. So we need time in quietude and silence and serenity. This is so important to hear your inner voice. And we also need to move away from the belief that retrogrades are not good. You know, they get a bad rap because people aren't comfortable turning inward. That's really the main reason. So yes, there are impacts. You know, we all know the Mercury retrograde impacts that can happen. But truly, Mercury retrograde is such a blessing because it quiets down the mind, which is on overdrive most of the year. So the lack of interest in going inward is because people in general don't want to change. So there's something within them that is not in harmony, that maybe they're not happy about. And instead of looking inward for answers, which would be the quickest way and the most economical way and the universe way, because the universe loves solving things as quickly as possible, turning inward. Instead of doing that, they get angry at themselves or project their unhappiness onto others. And that leads to a stagnancy of the energy, right? Because the energy isn't in flow. It sort of comes up against barriers and a lack of interest in resolving it. And so that results then in sort of this hamster wheel of suffering due to primarily a lack of self-awareness, a lack of internal inquiry. So when there are 7 retrogrades in the sky, like now, it's a great time to change habits, and especially that habit. So we're being given the opportunity to get to the heart of the matter, the root of things. And that's especially the case when one or more retrogrades are actually merged, conjunct, next to, touching one of the planets in your astrology birth chart. So if you have any angled connections like squares and oppositions, or literally a conjunction, it's even more pressing for you to do that inward journey. Now, in general, for everyone, it's an incredible time for self-improvement and self-growth at an exponential rate. Breakthroughs can happen when you prior to now believed those breakthroughs would be impossible. You are now on board and you see and you feel the potential and the true possibilities. You have the faith, right? Which is why it's a wonderful time to schedule any reading to understand how your chart actually is expressing itself in the midst of these 7 retrogrades. So that is really the miracle, is that ability to do that. And so Mercury being across from all these other 6 planets, and Mercury being in its own sign of Virgo, is very much highlighted. Mercury will be retrograde until September 15th. Mercury governs the mind. Mercury is the messenger, and Mercury is very curious. And that means Mercury likes to explore. So here's the thing. Every single thought that you think comes into life in form in some way. So it's as if you're making something, like baking a series of breads or cookies or cupcakes, whatever the case may be, and you're shaping the pie crust or you're shaping the cookies, and every time you think of something, that shaping, that thought form is released, like you're focusing on it, you're setting an intention because you're making it. So this thought form, like the cookie that you're shaping, works through you, through your intention on it and your attention on it. So your intention to make it actually what you'd like to make it into is very strong, and your attention to make that happen is the energy that you put into it, and it gains vitality. And that's basically what your thoughts do. They come into form. So they're called thought forms, and they resonate throughout the ethers, and they can resonate throughout mass consciousness, which is how mass movements get started. And what you put into motion is then, your thought forms putting into motion is what you experience. And it can be for your highest good or could not be for your highest good, right? It is that's really up to you, because you're the creator. So I'm sure you realize deeply how you can set into motion your basic thoughts and beliefs, and how some are helpful to you and some are not, like jealousy or hatred or revenge or anger are not helpful emotions. If you give them life, they will come back in some form in order for you to experience that creative force, because you put it into motion. So just keep that in mind. Anything you put into motion and create comes back to you, just like after you bake that cookie. You get to eat it, you get to enjoy it, right? So in the same way, your body is part of the earth experience. When you love your body, when you love yourself, you then know what you're available for, because your molecules literally will speak to you. You will hear a resonance with frequency that you want to be with and frequency you don't want to be with. And your intention is clear and powerful. And if something is not a match, if you can't match it, you cannot magnetize it to you. And if you do match it, you can magnetize it to you. And your body participates in helping you direct your energy, because your body is part of your human experience. So the beliefs that you hold that create your reality are put in motion through your passion behind the beliefs. It brings your life into forward momentum, and the vitality inside gives you then the courage and the grace and the confidence to use those skills and plant those joyful outcomes with your mind. Meaning, you see them in motion, you visualize them, you literally are living the experience within your heart, and that sets in motion in a beautiful way exactly what it is that is for your highest good. So the key really is to enjoy the journey of the discovery and to find the jewel within every part of the journey, to listen for it, to have that serenity, to receive the inspiration, and to know that your imagination is the most powerful force that's available to you. So to be in that place of creativity is powerful. It's so important. And these retrogrades, these 7 retrogrades, stimulate your imagination. They are taking you within. You cannot be in your imagination if you're taking your cues from the external, from others, from sources that you're turning to for advice. It's not, like I said, it's not that you can't research or look for solutions externally. It's just that if it doesn't feel connected here, if you don't intuitively sense that you're in harmony with what is being sent to you, given to you, then it needs to be discarded. Again, your imagination is key to creating your reality. And so you want to be a force to be reckoned with for the good, for what is for your highest good at all times. And so this is truly an awakening. When 7 planets go retrograde, yes, it's speeding up the awakening big time. And so to support you with that, I have a fantastic free masterclass, spiritualmasteryclass.com. That's where you can watch it. It is a remarkable class to help you take your power back, your internal power. That is where your power is. And it talks about the truth about where that power actually lies and the secrets of mastering your spirituality. And it also looks at the true meaning of your rising sign, the important difference between individuality and uniqueness. And if you want to talk imagination, we're talking uniqueness, and you'll discover all about that in the masterclass. We also look at the meaning of your sun and moon and the profound impact on you on living an abundant, happy life. And there'll be tips on how to instantly connect with spirit as well. Many more secret tools. You'll really enjoy it. Again, it's free and you can watch it at spiritualmasteryclass.com. I hope you have an incredible, incredible week. Enjoy these retrogrades. Again, on the 15th of September is when Mercury stations direct, but then we still have 6 more planets in retrograde, so that will continue. So have a gorgeous week, and I will see you in next week's Star Codes podcast. Bye-bye for now.